With pruning, we're cutting away the hills made from previous growing seasons. On the equipment, you'll see two rotating discs, which cut the crown in a pendulum to swipe dirt and root material away. This process is utilized to cut away old, dried out bines and the top layer of root growth from the previous growing season. If done correctly, this will help with possible infection from the year before and freshens the crown for the new growing season. Lastly, pruning helps with weed control and timing for training the new shoots later in the spring. Hop planting typically happens in the spring as long as the weather permits. Our growers carefully prepare the soil to ensure optimal growing conditions. Then plant rhizomes or potted plants at predetermined depths and spacing. This precise placement allows the hops ample room and access to essential resources for optimal growth. Rhizomes are normally planted as early as possible, typically right after pruning, as the freshly cut growth from the previous year have more energy stored up from the winter months and can withstand colder early spring or late winter temps. Potted plants are planted later in the spring, typically after the last frost of the year or after training is done on mature hops in May. The stringing process is essential for the sustainable growth and harvest of hops. Growers use wire string or core string, which is made of coconut husk. Some growers have begun to experiment with recycled paper string and have had great success. The strings are hung at the top of the 18-foot trellis using a cow or clove hitch knot. Growers can do up to 3 acres per shift with a 3-man crew. Once the strings are hung, they get set in the ground with an applicator or lance right next to the hop plants in order to train the bines as they start to grow.